ya. Ya. Ya, por. Afuera que tenemos. No sale de allá. Hermano, no, fuera más peligroso, hermano. Por allá. Señores, al puerta 4. Por allá.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's out there teaching and preaching in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Bantalamai from the GMS Memphis camp, back with another quick lesson. And ultimately, I hope that this lesson is edifying to the elect. And this lesson is about the whole earthquake that's that happened in Venezuela. And from my understanding, there was another one today, as recent as today, which is the 29th of July, 2026. And they had twin earthquakes on the day of the earthquake. So let me get a little bit of information on that earthquake. This is CNN .com, June 24th and 25th, 2026. Venezuela rocked by 7.5 and 7.2 magnitude earthquakes. Deadly quakes. The death toll from a pair of earthquakes that struck Venezuela has gone up to around 235. And right now, as of now, the death toll is at about 1,700, and they fully expect to find many, many more bodies. In fact, I heard on one of those news sites that they were just going to bring out the cadaver dogs, because at this point they're just looking for bodies, and if you look at the video that I showed at the beginning, it was it looked like it was in like a mall, so what were these people doing? They were just shopping, going about their normal life, and all of a sudden the earthquake hit, a powerful earthquake, and many buildings fell. A lot of people were killed by the rubble. So, it's it's scary, but the Lord said that these things will happen in the last days. There will be earthquakes in diverse places. Matter of fact, let me get that. Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 3. And as he sat at the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, and this being Yahweh Shai, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, like the wars that are going on in Iran, in the Middle East. It's something new about that every day. You got civil war brewing right here in Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. So it's you got that. Verse 6 again, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, which means different places, So not only did you have an earthquake, triple earthquakes in Venezuela, but you also had earthquakes in Japan. You had earthquakes in, I think it was the Philippines, all over the world, man. Earthquakes just killing people, deadly earthquakes, right? But right here, like once again in Matthew chapter 24, verse 7, it says, And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in many diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. So when we see these things, we always remember, hey, the Lord he said these things will happen. He said that it will be wars, rumors of wars. He said it will be earthquakes. He said there will be famines. We see that. We see the All right, Salakia, my phone got cut off. Yeah, like I was saying, man. In Matthew 24 and verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places," man. Earthquakes in different places, just like the people in Venezuela. Walking through the mall, minding your business. Not having a care in the world. All you thinking about is shopping, having a good time. But what do the scriptures say? It said the Lord will come as a thief in the night, which means the Lord will come when you least expect it. He gonna come like an earthquake, like a sudden flood. Let me get that in 1 Thessalonians. It's 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night," meaning the Lord will come. These things will happen suddenly. Death will come upon you suddenly. One minute you having a good time, next minute the building that you're in literally will crumble around you. And that's why the scriptures tell us to not putting it off, like it's what's that, Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." So that's why it's important to to be mindful and watchful of these things, because like I say, an earthquake can happen, bullets can start flying. The scriptures also say, what's that, Proverbs chapter 27, it said, "Boast not thyself on tomorrow," because you don't know what's going to happen from day to day. Let me go back to Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians. All right, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 5 again. It says, Salakia, chapter 5 verse 2 again. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." What it's saying, the book Amos, it says that the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Yep, Amos chapter 5 verse 18, it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." And that's what's going to be going on. It's going to be earthquakes, it's going to be bombs, it's going to be explosions. It's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very bad times. And it's going to be a lot of death. But even with that being said, we understand that, like the scriptures say, no one ever perished, whoever perished being innocent. That's in Job. This is Job chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off." So that's just the judgment of the Lord, man. But that's why that's all the more reason to get right with the Lord. you know. And like the scriptures say, not to put for us not to put off from day to day, because once again, you could be going about your normal life and all of a sudden something deadly happens or something near death happens, you know. Or ultimately the Lord just shut the doors of mercy, man. And it's no way in the elect are sealed and it's just it. The rest of you will just die off, you know. And I pray I'm not a part of it, you know. But I hope that this quick lesson was edifying. Until the next time, shalom.